Hello? Okay, this is a little loud for me. It looks a little loud for you. I'm just gonna turn it down a hair, just a touch. We don't need to go deaf on a Tuesday. Okay, let's get ourselves loaded in. I have no recollection of anything that I was doing, so this will be a great. A Tuesday, you say? I do indeed. It is a Tuesday. I also am working on jumping right back in. I will be doing some fun things. Hopefully this month. I gotta rethink through some things, but I think when we get to 300 followers, we'll do a cheddar postcard giveaway. Another postcard giveaway. There's the paw print. So I'll do a little, see what we can do there, but that's my plan. You accidentally clicked off to a random suggestion. It happens to the best of us. I've done that before. Okay, so let's go back to the very beginning. I'm not gonna lie to you. The trip started off poorly. It was a long flight. So my flight got pushed up. So I had a longer layover, which is fine. She's glowing. She is glowing. Hi, Tropical. How are you doing? Let me see if I can not glow as much. Oops. Oh no, I messed up my camera. Hold on. See, she doesn't stream for 3 weeks and she messes everything up. There we go. We are getting there. It's like relearning everything all over again. It's great. It's lots of fun. I want my next thing that I would like to get is a better webcam. I'm not gonna lie to you. This one is fine, and I struggle buying new things when this one works fine, but I hate it. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled watering. Anyway, they pushed my flight up out of Denver. So what we ended up doing is I flew out on a Saturday, which is a bummer because that whole weekend is gone. It was spent on the airplanes, but it is what it is. We actually went down to our friend's house, Eric and I, on Friday with Cheddar, so we could spend the night with him there and help get him settled in, because that's where he would be staying. And he could have, Eric could have brought him down later, but we wanted to do it this way so that we had the time to spend the night there and help get him settled. So we did that, and we got him all settled. Boyd, thank you for streaking. Let me do our little streak. I can't spell today either. Streak. Oh my gosh, I still can't spell. We just want to streak out here. Thank you. Yes, Cheddar actually, he did pretty good. He was very sketchy, skittish, the first couple of days. And this is our friend that I lived with when I had Cheddar as a kitten. So he is familiar with the house, and there's one less cat and one less dog there, which means he was the only pet. So he should have had a grand old time. But he was just a little skittish, I guess. A lot of sounds, a lot of things. Spelling is hard. I got new Cheddar emotes, did I? I probably did. I don't remember the last time I updated them. I'm not gonna lie to you. But yes, he did good. I would get... Thankfully, our friend was so good at sending me updates and sending me here's the cat, here's what the cat's up to. So I really appreciated that. I do know that he ate his quesadilla one time, so that was not good Cheddar behavior, but in Cheddar's defense, he did leave it on the table. And you can't really blame a guy, We're just selling everything. Okay. We'll go buy some more seeds today as well. We really want to make quality sprinklers, but I think we got to make it further in the mines. We do have chickens. I'm like trying to remember what's happening. We're pretty close to having enough money for another upgrade, I think. But we'll check in a little while. But we'll go buy some more seeds. We'll look at the upgrades while we're over there. That's not Chedward's fault. He's royalty, and anything left on the counter is fair game. And it was on the table, so it wasn't even like it was up on a counter. It was very accessible to him. So that was his one snafu, I will say. But other than that, he was a great boy. He did get comfortable. I know he got comfortable because I got a text one morning that said, I think Cheddar's comfortable here. I woke up this morning to him screaming, standing on my chest and screaming in my face. And I was like, yes, he does do that. Yeah, it was a cheese quesadilla. So did you like your quesadilla, Cheddar? Oh, I forgot that the PCG was there. Oh, the way, you know, he loved that quesadilla. I mean, you've heard his tortilla escapades. He's a freaking brat when it comes to tortillas. Let me... I can't. I really can't spell today. Okay, anyway. So we did that Friday, and we dropped him off, and we got him all settled, which was good, because he needed to be settled. He was the most important thing, you know? And then I got on my flight, whatever. Got there early, had like a 6-hour layover, which was tons of fun. And can I mail you stuff now? Yes, I am home long enough for you to mail me stuff. You can. You can mail me stuff. Is it honey? I would be so excited if it's honey. I love honey. Okay, what else should we grow? Poppy seeds? Harvest price 154. Yeah, that's pretty good. Honey, birthday presents, cheddar presents. Yes. Please. We'll just buy 12. I don't know how many we need to be ever. I'm going to mail you a picture of Loki so Cheddar can see his cousin. That's cute. Okay. We'll eventually close this room in, but I do want to do something like that where I have you guys send me all the pictures of your pets and I print them out and we just have like a pet wall and it'll have all of y'all's pets on it. I think that would be so fun and so cute. Let me see what we can do. We'll save up for the bridge or the bus. You can pin them to a map. Wait, that would be cute too. I just cut out the heads of everybody, like the heads of everybody. I want all of your heads on my map board. I just cut out the heads of everybody's pets and pin them on the map. That would be really cute. She's back. Good auto mod catch. Hello, Small. If you don't have a pet, you can send me a photo of your head. I'll do that too. I don't care. Hey, buddy, I really love your stream, so I give you a follow. I'd love to be your friend. That's what it said. I am human again. The deleted message. Yeah, that's what it said. Anyway, we haven't even gotten to the flight yet. Hi, John. We're at the layover still. Anyway, then we had like it wasn't that long of a flight, really, because I flew from Denver to Chicago, had my 6-hour layover, and then hopped on I think it was like a 9-hour flight to Helsinki, Finland. Whoops. And let me tell you, I love an international flight. I know they're long, but they're so good. I got a great seat, so I was in an aisle seat, which is fine because that means I could get up and go to the bathroom whenever I wanted to, and I didn't have to bother anybody, which I prefer doing. Like if it's Eric and I don't mind having a window seat, but if it's just me on a longer flight, I like the aisle so I don't have to bother anybody. There's Cheddar's head. But You get complimentary wine, and let me tell you, if you're trying to sleep on a plane, because I don't sleep well on planes, taking that complimentary wine with your little warm dinner or snack that they give you is the best. It puts me right to sleep to an extent. And then they spoken as a compact person who isn't tortured by modern airplane seats. That's fair. I've missed the back of that noggin. I know. I miss cheddar so much. I think it was like every day I probably said that. I was like, man, I just wish my cat was here. Or like when I get back to the hotel room, I just wish my cat was with us. But it was a good flight over. However, we got in late. We were delayed. So I had an hour or less. No, I had like 30 minutes. I'm pretty sure my plane was about to board when I landed, and I had to go through border control. So I was stressed. So in stressed fashion, I sprinted off of the international flight, which was all fine and dandy until I learned that sitting in the pocket in the back seat of the international flight was my Kindle. So I lost my Kindle the very first day, which is a tragedy. Cheddar cheese withdrawals for sure. I know. He's the best. He's just a baby. Do I have any coal? But yeah, so I lost my Kindle flight 1 essentially. So that was great. But I do have a new one on the way, which is exciting because I emailed them and I never heard back, which is sad. But I did make the second flight, and that's when I realized my Kindle was gone, was as I was seated on that second flight that I just barely made because it was a tiny plane. It was like I went from this massive international plane to like a prop plane. It was literally a prop plane. I don't know if I've ever been on a prop plane, or at least not in recent years. So we took a little prop plane from Helsinki, Finland up to Kuopio, which was kind of hard. My goodness, sorry. It is hard to be away from them. Because I'm sure coffee helps that, but here we are. It is, yeah, you try not to think about Loki much if you leave. Well, I have Cheddar as my home screen, so I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just running in circles. Every time I like look at my phone, I see his cute little face in different stages of his life. So, you know, that was the worst part for sure, was missing my little kitty cat. One time they put you in the emergency row and told you that you can't keep your bag with your laptop under the seat in front, so you had to take out your laptop and put it in that pouch. Yeah, I'm about to never be putting anything in that freaking pouch ever again. Oh, there's a pike. And the one on this plane, like this plane, I will say, the international flights typically are a little bit better at having larger seats. The pouch was massive. My Kindle just went, whoop, and I literally never saw it again. I forgot about it. But yeah, we got to Kuopio, Finland, which is up in northern Finland. When I tell you I loved Finland. So Kuopio was hard because it was the first place we went, and it's just because it is not a mainstream area. There was very little English spoken, and it was very heavy Finnish. And I will say, like, I am one of those people who I like to do my research before I visit a place and like know certain words in their language, all of that. But because we were going to so many places in such a short period of time, that just didn't happen for this trip, because we were only in Finland for 2 days, and then we were going to be in Sweden for 2 days, and then we were going to be in Denmark for 2 days. So like, because we were just bopping around so quickly, I didn't really learn any of the words, to be honest with you. Luckily, we had this guy there whose wife is from Finland, so he was able to help. His Finnish isn't great, but it's definitely better than like the rest of ours. So he was able to help us where he could and like get us all taxis to our hotel, and then we made it out to dinner and all of that stuff. So it was fine. It was tough getting off the plane, tired, jet lagged, and being like, I'm also already one of those people when I'm tired and people speak to me, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I have no idea what you said. Can you say it again? But this time I like genuinely had no idea what they said and I could not, it was tough. And I, being the coordinator, had to be the person who like figured it out more or less, you know? But Finland was beautiful. The first hotel we stayed in it reminded me of a summer camp. It was like on the water, and it had all the little canoes lined out outside and the beds. The like Scandic style for the sleeping is where they have like, I only had a twin bed there, but they have like the two twins pushed together and everybody gets their own comforter and there's no top sheets, which, listen, I love a bed without a top sheet. Eric hates a bed without a top sheet. So I have unfortunately learned to deal with top sheets. So not having them was oh, hello. Oh, hello. Cheddar wanted to say hi. A top sheet is like the sheet on top of the bed that when it's really hot and you don't want the duvet cover on top of you, you go under the sheet and you pull off the top cover. Top sheets are the worst. Yeah, I know. Listen, I think top sheets, you're either a top sheet person or you're not a top sheet person. I'm not a top sheet person, but unfortunately Eric is a adamant top sheet person. So we have top sheet. And right now we don't have a duvet because we just have the heated blanket and like a fuzzy blanket, but we're bringing our duvet back soon once the heated blanket goes. It was just too tall with all of that. I know, you're full. I just need to get up here. You're also a top sheet person. It's the sheet that goes on the top. Yeah, so is that the thing? No, I actually do think the top sheet gets washed. I think the duvet cover does not get washed. If you're asking me which one gets washed and which one doesn't, I would say the duvet cover does not get washed and the top sheet does. That's my analysis of that. Let's go put this in the mayo machine. You can go in here. How much do we have in here? We have 13 of you. Sure. Okay. But they don't have them. I think it's called Scandic style, where everybody has their own like twin style duvet. Which I do know a lot of people have taken that up, is give them their own duvet. We just get a large duvet and we're fine. Oh, I didn't put the egg in. Clearly, I'm doing well over here. Let me think. But yeah, that hotel felt like a summer camp. And then we did our first tour. The bus was late, which was really scary because that was also a me thing. And if the bus didn't come, that was a me thing. And I was calling people all morning and didn't sleep because I was just worried about that. So that was stressful. But the bus did end up coming and we made it that was a very long day, I will say. We went from Kuopio all the way down to Helsinki. You have separate duvets too. It's actually been really handy because your body temperatures run so differently. Yeah, that's fair. And I think that's why that became a thing. Like, I think that's just what it makes sense. Eric's brother and sister, that was really cute, Cheddar. And sister-in-law do that too. But we don't do that. Oh, we just have heated blankets that we can control on either side because it's obviously like more often, it's snowing currently. So it's more often cold here than hot, I guess. Well, we'll see what the summer brings. Perfect. Here we go. So we make it down to Helsinki. And we are slated to do like a hosted dinner. So one of the groups is hosting us, and they picked this really nice restaurant. And they were like, we want you like true Finland. We're going to do an appetizer board. And I'm a sushi girl. I love some sushi. They had their appetizer board was spread into like 3 rows. The top row was all fish. And the middle row was like cheese and like a little salad situation and stuff like that. And then the bottom row was all meats. And the way we were seated at the tables, I was in the middle, thank God. And you could get like one of each essentially and taste test the whole thing. The 2 people I was sitting with did not like fish. So I just got to eat their little sashimi pieces, and it was the best sashimi. I don't even remember what it was. It was some white fish. It was so good. And then they had some other fish that was kind of like a sardine, which I tried one of everything. People were like, man, I really just feel like I haven't eaten as much on this trip. And I'm like, ooh, yikes. I'm eating everything. You give me something new to try, I'm trying it. I was watching them leave their plates like full, and I'm over here just literally wolfing down every single thing. We tried reindeer that night. Oh, no, stream elements. No. Okay, I don't know if this will work if I do this, but I'm going to try to turn them off for now. Yeah, Cheddar, say I'm sorry if you're in ads. I really am. But I tried reindeer for the first time, which was, I feel like a lot of people did not like the reindeer, which is fair. So I was probably amongst one of the few that actually really liked it. I do think a lot of the like guys finished it and didn't mind it, but I will say like everybody I was with, they're high up in their company, or they own the company. Like, they're all very nice, and they're so down to earth. Like, if you met them on the street, you wouldn't know that they're like multimillionaires. But I do think that they're a little hoity-toity's not the right word, but they definitely are a little bit they have particular thoughts and opinions about certain things. And I really think that game meat is not something that they would ever choose to eat. However, I grew up on game meat, so I don't mind gamey flavor. Like grass-fed beef, give it to me. Our friend out here, their dad worked at a Highland ranch, like a little Highland cow ranch, and they did not eat any of the meat because they were like, well, it's too gamey because it's grass-fed. And Eric and I are like, we eat longhorn meat. You know how bad longhorn meat tastes sometimes? Like, give it to us, we will eat it. So we get a lot of meat from them. Deer burgers are better than beef burgers. You can't change my mind. Agreed. Well, and what we always do, I've never experienced this before. You like your beef pumped with chemicals. But at Eric's grandparents' house, every Thanksgiving we go up there and they do like a little hunting party together. You like ostrich mince. Oh, interesting. I don't think I've ever had ostrich, but that would make sense. Like, that totally makes sense, eating what's more. Are ostriches like abundant? Like, are there too many of them that I know, like, for example, kangaroos are more or less taking over Australia. They're kind of like the white-tailed deer of Australia, but they punch you. So I know that in Australia, they're doing a lot. They do. So Virginia sometimes, like, in the middle of the night, takes these planes up and shoots deer from the sky to help control the population. I know they're doing that in Australia with the kangaroos. I was just curious if that's okay. Yep. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, ostriches are scary. I fed one a grape at the zoo one time, and I watched the grape go all the way down his throat, and he just stared at me, and I was like, okay. You know what? I respect you. Every time I fed him a grape after that, I did not look him in the eyes. I was like, yeah, you know, he was like a hippogriff. I just couldn't look him in the eyes when I gave him his grapes. He just had to take them from my hand, and I just held them, and I looked the other way. And it was a great time. But yeah, I don't think the reindeer was very popular. I thought it was delicious. It was cooked perfect. And yeah, it was really yummy. So that was our dinner. And then the next day we went to Sweden. I went for a run around Helsinki the next morning, and I really wanted to do sauna because sauna is like huge over there, but nothing was open because we had to go to our flight at like 9 a.m. So I ran at like 6. So I still had time to shower and everything. The gorilla took a dookie and threw it at us at the zoo. Luckily we have, gorilla. I don't mess with primates. I'm not gonna lie. Primates freak me out. Not you eating Rudolph. Yeah. Fun fact, all reindeer in Finland are owned. Like there's no wild reindeer. I think it's owned as in like they belong to the tribe up there. Like I don't know. Eric is like Diglett. That's so funny to me. Wait. I'm gonna lose it. No. But yeah, then we went to Sweden. And I will say this, like I loved Finland. I thought it was a beautiful country. Helsinki was so fun. Like it's very high on my list of places to go back. Sweden was good. It just didn't compare, like it wasn't as good as Finland, but I do think we were a little more rushed. All unmarked swans are owned by the Crown in the UK. Interesting. That is interesting. So they just claim all the ones that are not claimed. They're like, well, we saw a lot of swans in the UK. They're big. They're so big. We don't really have swan. We don't have swans in Colorado. We just have ducks and Canadian geese. And while geese are big, swans are freaking massive. But we saw some that had babies. So that was fun. Or maybe it wasn't swans that had babies. We saw some of y'all's European geese that had babies. It's illegal to kill, injure, or take a swan. Interesting. That's kind of wild. I mean, it makes sense if they're like all owned by the Crown. Why swans? I mean, they're pretty, but they're kind of assholes, aren't they? I know geese are. I just kind of assumed that swans were as well. Yeah, let's get some of these guys in here. And then we do got to go to the mines here soon, one of these days. Maybe we'll go tomorrow when it's raining. But we'll do some of this for now. What do we need for a quality sprinkler while I'm looking at this? Iron, gold, refined quartz. So we need more gold. Okay, we got iron. We got refined quartz. We need gold. But Sweden was busy and kind of passed by in a blur because we had a full travel day. And then the next day we were doing our tours and we drove into Copenhagen from Sweden. We took the ferry, which was really fun. Cheddar grooming cam. I know, you get to see how clean our little cheese is. Look, it's the two voids. I have my voids here. He's a clean boy. But then we went to Copenhagen, and Copenhagen is cool. I got to spend more time in Copenhagen. I did travel. It was good. It was long, but it was good. But yeah, I really liked Copenhagen. 187, 140. I'm just making sure. 187. Okay, they're all worth the same, so that makes sense. Void siblings. Let's see. Copenhagen, we kind of spent the evening. We just had to travel the next day and then do a tour in the afternoon. So it was going to be a busy day, but we wanted to actually explore Copenhagen some. So that was fun. It's a very, very cool little area. It is nice to travel once in a while. And then we went to the small town of Billund, which is where Lego was invented. And that's where things took a turn. So Eric came and flew into Billund because flights into Billund were so much cheaper than flights into Germany. It was cool. I wish we had had more time in Billund to actually see like Lego House and explore. We had plans to do all of that, but there's this airline over there called Lufthansa, which is what we were flying on our way to Munich, and all the pilots went on strike, and so my flight was canceled, and they didn't tell me. So I found this out the night before when I was like, I haven't gotten an email to check in, and I pulled up the flight and it just said canceled, and I was like, oh great, cool. So I spent that night. The problem was we had friends who were coming, who lived in Frankfurt, Germany, who we haven't seen in years because they moved to Germany, coming to Munich specifically to see us. So we were like, okay, what can we do to... What can we do to get us there that day? Woohoo, we learned a new power. 375. Oh, nice. Sorry, 1 second. Let me do this. So we ended up booking a 12-hour, 5-leg train trip from like a little town outside of Billund to Munich. And that's what we did on Friday instead, was we took the train all the way down to Munich. And it was great. It actually wasn't bad. It was a lot of like little trains to get to the main trains. And then once we hit Hamburg, Germany, we pretty much were just on one train till the end. And then instead of hopping to a different train to get close to the hotel, I just ended up Ubering us to the hotel because I could cash it. You do get to see more stuff on the train, which is nice. The only downside to it is it took up our entire day, right? Like we had plans to go into Billund and see Lego House and do things in Billund and then hop on our quick little flight and get into Munich and be there for our friends. And we still made it there in time and still got to see them that night. So it all worked out. But we did miss quite a bit of Billund. So we will have to go back, but that's okay. We will probably go back to, we'll definitely go back to Denmark because we were only there for a night, and I would love Eric to go to Copenhagen. I think he'd really like it. Is there a seed here? No. Let's put these guys in here. Yeah. So then was our weekend in Germany. And it was so much fun. Now, it really helped that, like, we were there with people who lived in Germany, who spoke German, who were, like, our friends. So I'm sure that really, like, made it better. But I will say every single city, every single city that we went to in Europe, Munich specifically stood out. Munich and Helsinki stood out to me. They were so clean. They were pristine. Like, there were so many people in Munich. Munich was so crowded. It was like the first day of Frühlingsfest, or the second day. I don't know. It was opening weekend for Frühlingsfest. And it was just so crowded, and I was just amazed at how many people were there and how clean it was. There was no trash on the ground. Everybody was like respectable, you know. It was just very different. I feel like you don't see that in American cities ever. And I'm lucky. I live in Denver. Denver's like one of the prettier American cities. Well, I don't live in Denver, but the city I frequently travel to is Denver. And it had nothing on these cities. Cheddar, what are you doing? Everybody, Cheddar wants to stare into your souls. What are you doing? He says, it's almost my time to eat. Hi, nephew. Aren't Americans friendly in public and lots have flags outside their homes? Yes. I will say that Americans are friendlier. I was told, oops, I can't do this. Your sister has still not had her baby. Wasn't she due like a long time ago? Or is she not due yet? I can't do this. Today! Oh, that's exciting. I will say that, and I kind of appreciate this. People kind of keep to themselves more. I was told in Finland that, what was it? An introverted Finnish person will look at their shoes when they talk to you. An extroverted Finnish person will look at your shoes when they talk to you. That's what I was told. Had a membrane sweep on Thursday and he crawled right back up. He was like, no. Honestly, can you blame him? Can you blame him? Why are they looking at their shoes, though? They're just looking down. I don't know. They're shy. I don't know. You hear, okay, we're done. I probably should have just let that go, but here we are. Let's sell all of that, and then we're going to bed. They don't smile at each other like we do here. That's fair. I would say that we found that to be true. Let me think. But Munich, we loved. I honestly loved Germany in general. They overbuild the hell out of everything. Everything is overbuilt. Like, obviously, I work in the construction industry, so we saw a lot of construction plants, and Eric got to tag along, and I really think he enjoyed it more than I did at times, because I would just watch him wander around and like stand and look at the machinery. But they overbuild like crazy there. But I love their architecture. Their homes are beautiful. You're using talk to text, and sometimes Siri really misunderstands. That's fair. Siri can be the worst. Have you ever thought about buying a stretch of forest somewhere and building a cabin? Yes, actually. So we're very picky. We would like land that has both forest, like maybe 5 acres of forest, and then maybe 5 acres of land. Like land, pasture field. That's where I was getting with that. What was I doing? I want to do one of these and one of these so that there's still, like, do this, please. Yes, there we go. You would 100% contribute to the cabin fund as long as you get your own room. Okay, what if you got your own tiny home? Hear me out. We stayed in this tiny home in Wales, and we'll get to that. We're still in Germany. But it was so cute. And I was like, we could do that. We could build that. Start your own Stardew Valley story. Listen, I planted my garden on Saturday. We are starting. Tiny homes. I love me a tiny home. People always say Londoners are not friendly, but in your opinion, you're just busy people. I also think that that's city people. Like, when we were in London, we were only there for one day, and we did a lot in that day. We were like, oh, I was going to the mine. Hold on. Let me do some things. Let me get to the mines. And we did a ton in that day. I'm saving all of these to dry them and make a ton of money. Let's put you guys in here. Okay. Radishes! Yes, I am growing radishes. I have them planted, and Eric covered them like a doll for me yesterday. So they are covered and hopefully will stay warmer. What can I bring to eat? Steak. All right, well, that's it. Here we go. Luck is not on our side today, but here we go. But anyway, after Germany, we went to Ireland, and I also loved Ireland. Radishes are versatile, and they do well in colder weather. And it is currently, it's currently 32, so we're not doing too bad. That being said, it's supposed to get down to 17 the next couple of days, so I do have concerns. But I think that we're just so early in it. Hi, Fez. Hello. Disco. Hi, friends. How are we? How is everybody doing? Pickled radishes sounds amazing. Okay, I have gone down a canning wormhole the past couple of days, and I told Eric I want us to start canning. Is that crazy? I don't think it's crazy. Good morning, Cheddar. You just cut a watermelon? How is it? It feels early for watermelons. Canning is amazing. I have not yet dove into the world of canning. If you ever decide to pickle onions, I'll trade you. Deal. I kind of want to pickle everything. I'm not going to lie to you. I love pickles. The piggies are thrilled. Oh, I'm sure. They're like, ooh, summer's my favorite time of year. I get watermelon. Eric also loves watermelon. He's like the piggies. Ah! But yeah, I'm like down a canning wormhole, and I think we're looking at pressure canners on Facebook Marketplace to buy. Eric is like the piggies. He craves the watermelon. Oh, they just want the rind. Well, I guess it would be too much sugar for them, huh? They would get along so well with Eric because he eats those watermelon down to the rind. Like, there is only rind left. There's no way he doesn't get some rind when he eats his watermelon. He would baby them. He would. Oh, man. Okay, let's do this. So he eats watermelon like a psychopath. Yeah. Correct. He also eats it in one sitting. Well, 2 sittings. He eats half a watermelon in a sitting. He literally will cut 1/2 of the watermelon and put the other half in the fridge and eat the whole half. Do you think he could win a watermelon eating contest? I bet if you gave somebody just like a whole watermelon and said, here's the watermelon, a whole melon, a whole melon. Yeah. Okay. Usually it's half the melon, but sometimes it is the whole melon if it's a smaller watermelon. Does he just sit down with the half and no, he cuts them into like the triangles. He'll sit there, he'll cut it in half, and he'll slice it like this, and then he'll walk around the house and come by and take one and eat it, and then come by and take another one and eat it, and suddenly the whole thing is gone, and I'm like, wait, I kind of wanted a slice. Have you seen the series on TikTok where the guy's like, how fast can I eat? I probably have seen like some of those TikToks. Cheddar's getting, you know what? Hey. No, he's psycho. He stuffs his face into the melon. Yeah, exactly. We're worried. He's like, how much do we think watermelon are going to cost this year? Because it's been so dry. He's worried we're going to have to pay $10 a melon, which if that's the case, I hate to break it to you, sir, we will not be getting melons. We're obviously not even trying to grow them because they would take too much water, and we're drought gardening. Okay, I need some of you to die, please. Thank you. These are like just not dying. Thank you. Good Lord. Successfully dropped off Juno. Yay! Sweet girl's getting fixed today. Oh, sorry. Oh. Oh my gosh, this is drama. Sweet baby angel mama kitty. I know. Nope, don't do that. Do not procreate. He does. I don't think Cheddar... I don't know if Cheddar would like a watermelon, to be honest with you. My gosh, there's so many of you. Oh, dude. We're struggling out here. Can I eat the sweet pea? No. All right, well, in that case, we're leaving. Sadly. Sadly. Do you have to craft your own weapons, or does your... No, well, you could use your farming tools, but that would be bad. You have to purchase or find them, really. You can, like, upgrade them with a forge way late game, but in the early game, you really just have to find them. And I have a level 1 sword, so it's going really well out here. But we're focusing on money, so it is what it is. Did we get any coal? Yes, so we can make some more of those. We can sell the slimes. We can sell the sap, because who needs sap? Let's do this. And this. And we'll put you in here. And it is 4:10 p.m. How do you level them up? You just have to find them. And then when you get to the forge, you can, like, put gemstones in the forge with them, along with other stuff, and that'll give them perks and level them up. How different has the Joja Mart run felt? It hasn't felt that different, except I'm a lot less hoardery. Like, you can't break that out of me. It's still going to be there. But it's there a lot less, I would say, I'm very more prone to being like, well, let's sell this. We could sell that. We might as well just sell this, you know? So that's what we've been doing. Okay, after this day, we're going to take a short break and feed the kitty cat. I don't think we need to run ads because they've been auto-running for me when I don't want them to. So I'll look and see, but we can put up words and give you guys enrichment time in the meantime. Enrich me. That was my plan. And then when we get back from feeding the cat, we'll talk about Ireland, because that's when so work finished in Ireland. We had 2 days in Dublin where I was traveling for work, and then we were set free and we rented a car and we took off across the country. And that's when things get fun, because, you know, Eric and I, like, we like to have the freedom to do what we want to do. We pack our days in. We do a lot. So that's where things got exciting. I will say Germany, we loved Munich. We spent Saturday in Munich with our friends and had a great time. Went to a lot of beer gardens, ate a lot of good food, walked all around Munich, saw a bunch of things. Our friends are doing so good. They look so good. They seem so happy. Like, I'm just so happy for them. They're getting married this month, so that's exciting. But then Sunday we went down to like the Swiss Alps, still in Germany. So we went to this little tiny town called Mittenwald, and it was beautiful. It was like this little town nestled up against this ginormous, you know how you see pictures of like Banff and you're like, okay, Banff is beautiful, but it doesn't really look like that. Like, they definitely made the mountain look way bigger than it is. Or like even Denver, they're like, here's my view from the Denver airport, and you can see the mountains, but the mountains look large. Thank you for lurking. That is not the case with this town. This town, the mountain looked large and was large. It was stunning. We did a hike in there and we were hungover, so we didn't do a lot there, but it was a beautiful, beautiful town. We're trying to get that video up this weekend. We're really trying to get these videos pushed out like each week. And they're going to be short. They're going to be like 15-minute videos, I think, for each day. So it'll be a good time. Let's catch a few more fish, make a little more money. Hello? There's a Yanma in the PCG. A Yanma? Yeah? Do you have anything else to say? Did you miss hearing Cheddar scream at you? I missed it. And then I knew the first night he was worried we would drop him back off because he didn't scream at all. He came and he curled up on my neck and he went straight to sleep. And he stayed there the whole night. The whole night he stayed there. And I was like, we're not going to get rid of you, buddy. We're not going to... You'll be okay. I know. Poor neglected baby. We'll sell 2 of those. I will save these to make into roe, and we'll sell the rest. Sell it all. I feel like I gotta keep the earth crystals for crafting. No, it escaped. Okay. We're gonna put on some enrichment. Level 3 mining. Woohoo. Level 3 combat. Oh, do you have anything else to say? Hey, Cheddar, guess what time it is? Guess what time it is? Are you... Oh, are you hungry? You're hungry? He's hungry. Are you hungry? You'll probably be at work by the time I get back. Have a great stream. I will not be going by lunchtime. This is going to be a slightly shorter stream today as I get back into it and am still playing catch up with work, because even though I was working, it's still gotta play some catch up, you know? Okay, let me get this set up really quickly for you guys so you can be enriched. Oh, Spotify has decided to work now. It wasn't working this morning when I was trying to do stuff, so I had things pulled up on a YouTube. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put on some enrichment time for you guys. Have a good day, fam. Love you all. See you soon. Bye, Kelsey. Have the best Toes Day. And I will be back in about 2-ish minutes once the screaming child has been fed. And yeah, enjoy your enrichment time. All right, I'm back. Howdy, howdy. Good job. You made it past level 1. Good job, Disco and Small. Look at you guys go. Okay. Back to the game. Okay. I'm getting situated. All right. So, there we are. So, we're in Ireland. We get our rental car picked up. It's a manual. Luckily, Eric is very good at driving manuals, and luckily, we're also very used to being on the opposite side of the road because New Zealand was the opposite side. You need a fresh melon. Okay. Well, I have a fresh melon, actually. That, like, really threw off my groove. So we get our rental car and we head out into the great land of Ireland. And we're doing, like, a loop. So we're going down to Cork, and then we're staying in Cork for the night, and then we're going up to Galway, staying in Galway for the night, and then beat-bopping our way back over to Dublin to take a ferry over into Wales. That's the rough, what we're doing. So on our way down to Cork, our focus is really castles. Like, that's what we're there for. That's what we want to see. We're looking at the castles. It's a grand old time. I guess we can plant this. Why not? And then I gotta find something that grows relatively quickly, which we can do. That's easy. Or we could plant corn. Cheddar. And we stop at a bunch of castles on the way, and the castles are really cool. We've never seen a structure that old in our lives, so that's really fun. They're like, 1200, 1300, built then in that time frame, so they're really old. They're really cool. One had a moat, which was really awesome. We just kind of took our time. Ireland is beautiful. It's like a beautiful country. And we make it to our Airbnb, which is a castle. And I'm very excited to show you guys that when we get the video for that one up, because our Airbnb host, she was so sweet. She was so kind. Her son and his friend were so cute. They were so nice. They let us all around. They were very interested in all of our camera equipment. She let us fly the drone, and I got to send her. We got to go through and get the best drone shots to send her. But we flew the drone over the castle. It was incredible. There was all these critters there, which I loved. So they had pigs and cats and dogs and horses, and it was great. I got to pet all the little critters and say hi to them, and that made me very happy. Oops. Just get this full for now. Did I ever pause this? No. I was like, I'm hearing things. But it was very, very cool. If you've never, we were in a newer part, you could tell that we were in an addition to the castle, but the castle itself was built in 1300. Which is crazy. And our room, we definitely got upgraded. There's no way we didn't. I remember booking the cheapest room in that castle, which I think was the junior suite. And we were put in, it wasn't the presidential suite, but it was the royal suite. And I remember walking into that room and I was like, oh my goodness, this is one of the nicest hotel rooms we've ever stayed in. It had a massive shower, or Airbnb rooms, I guess. But it ran more like a bed and breakfast, so that's probably part of it. And it was great. It was incredible. Okay, let's actually, while I'm running around like a crazy person, grab some things to do over in town when we go to Joja. Let's grab these. And let's grab these. Whoop. Perfect. It was so cool. It was incredible. and they were so nice. And in the morning, she baked us chocolate croissants, and Eric will tell you he was scared to get a croissant the rest of the trip because those were the best croissants he had ever had in his entire life, and he just didn't want to be perpetually disappointed the entire rest of the entire rest of the trip. Yeah, not only were they chocolate croissants, they were fresh baked chocolate croissants. Oh, we could do radishes. What else could we do? 6 days. We could do radishes. Freshly baked. Oh, I know they are. I know freshly baked carbs are your weakness. I have 30,000. At 40,000, we unlock the bus. So we'll just save up for that at this point. We'll bring Demetrius a melon as well. How are we doing? Okay, we can crack our geodes. That was my next question. So yeah, that was incredible. And she was, this host was so sweet. When I asked her if we could like get some drone footage and like send it to her for her to use, because she was like, can I just request that I have it? And we were like, it's kind of yours. Like, you tried to make sausage balls and made biscuit dough without actually reading the recipe. Yeah, you don't need to make dough. I will say, like, it is tough. You have to really work to make it into a dough when you add everything together. But it is, they're so worth it. You have to try again. You have to try again. They're like my favorite thing. They're like, let me think. You know how some families do weird things for holidays? The sausage balls are something that like my family does on the day after Thanksgiving. So we do Thanksgiving, and then on Friday morning we make the sausage biscuits or the sausage balls, and that's just our tradition. And so I've kept it up. Like, we make it here too, because they're just so stinking good. Or if Eric goes on a hunting trip, they're perfect because he can heat them up. He'll just put them on top of the wood stove to like heat them up a little bit. And they travel well. They keep well. Everything about them, like, it's great. But yeah, anyway, I can't say enough good things about this Airbnb because they were just the kindest people. They were so sweet. They were so happy. Like, she was like, well, in our thought process, when she asked if she could get the drone footage, is like, it's your footage more or less, because to us, it's your property. You're letting us film your property. You own the footage. It's not our footage, you know? So we got to get that over to her because I know it'll mean a lot. Rigged. Oh, I have 9 more. Well, time to head back. Back we go, I guess. And then after that, we worked our way up to Galway. We got 2 days worth of drone shots because it's just hard, right? Like, we had the drone with us everywhere, but you can fly it when there's people around. We're not comfortable doing that. So I guess we have 3 days worth of drone shots. We don't like to do it when there's people around. So we would hike away from the people and fly it. And Eric has all of the licenses and knows all the rules and regulations. So we're not worried about that. But there are there's definitely places you're not allowed to fly them where we saw people flying them. And we don't mess with that. It's not worth it for us to fly somewhere that we're not actually allowed to fly. So we have some from that castle. We have some. So on our way up to the Cliffs of Moher and on our way to Galway, we actually stopped and went around that entire peninsula that the cliffs are on because the whole coastline is like the Cliffs of Moher. The Cliffs of Moher is just the part that got commercialized, more or less, for lack of like a better term. It's very touristy. It's definitely been built up specifically for tourism, and it's beautiful, but that entire coastline is beautiful. And so we're very glad we did it the way we did it, because we were able to fly the drone in some of those lower cliffs, and we were able to see all these beautiful areas, and there was nobody there. Allegedly, there were puffins there. We did not see any. I'm really sad about it, but it's okay. You know, it is what it is. It's their breeding season. We probably, like, they want to be left alone anyway. But I really wanted to see a freaking puffin. I love puffins. I think they're so freaking cute. But there's always next time, or we'll go to Iceland and see puffins there. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine. But yes, the cliffs were beautiful all up that coastline. Yes, the cliffs of Moher were great. I think, and if you're in the area, you absolutely have to go do them. My problem is it was expensive. It was like €20 a person just to park the car to go see them. It was so crowded, and people in places like that just don't know how to behave, and that really bothers me. So I really preferred the cliffs that were maybe not as majestic or as tall or as like, they were still beautiful. Like, I can't even say they weren't as beautiful, but they didn't have as much of that like wow factor, but there was nobody there, and we could walk around and we could like film and see everything. And it was just very different. It's very different going from like seeing places that are like natural and not untouched, because there were still people there, but more untouched, and then going to a really popular tourist attraction and it just being mobbed, if that makes sense. But the whole coastline was just stunning. It was really, really incredible. Hey, come back. And then we went up to Galway for the night, and I loved Galway. It was so fun. It's like, it reminds me of Nashville in that there's live music everywhere, but it's not, and it's not clubby, right? Like, people are just there to have a good time, which I loved. Okay, that's it. That's all we have room for. But yeah, people are just there to have a good time, and they're drinking a lot, but they're having fun. It's not super crowded. We were able to find a seat everywhere we wanted to sit. People were dancing, like bachelorette parties were everywhere. It gave me Nashville vibes, but less like shoulder to shoulder. Have you ever heard Galway Girl by Ed Sheeran? Yes, I love Ed Sheeran. That song was like on repeat in my head the entire time. Because she played the fiddle. I played the fiddle. Not in an Irish band. I did not fall in love with an English man. What a great song. Okay, let me sell some things real quick. I need to give the melon to Demetrius so he pays me. But yeah, I loved Galway. I really, truly did. I loved Ireland. We both loved Ireland so much. He speaks English. He does speak English. But when you think of an English man, you think of like well, he is a Yankee. He is from the north. That's pretty close. No, I'm kidding. He's like from upstate New York. He's like the most southern northern person I've ever met. Some of the things he'd say he would do as a kid, like with the four-wheelers and things, I'm like, that is the most redneck thing I have ever heard, and you are very proud of being from the north. But yeah, I absolutely loved that area. We would go back there in a heartbeat. Like, I want to bring my parents to Ireland. Like, I think that would be a great place to bring parents because everything, like, you don't have to do it like we did it, where we're fitting in as much as we can into such a short period of time. We could definitely do it slower, but I think they would really enjoy Ireland in general, or Scotland. We haven't been to Scotland yet. So, like, I'd probably push for that first because we haven't been there. I need to get some gold going. I think I have gold. Just ignore me running in circles. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I do have enough gold to make one quality sprinkler, though. Hello. All right, let's clean up the farm a little bit more because there's still like a lot going on in here. Okay. Then, after our fun night in Galway, which we stayed up a little too late, like we didn't drink a lot, but everybody was having so much fun that we just stayed out and watched everybody have a good time, you know? And that was a lot of fun. So we enjoyed that a lot. And then we scooted and boogied back to Dublin to return the rental car and head to the port. And once we got to the port, we got all situated because we were leaving the EU. I can't get through. Okay, well, that's it. I don't have my axe on me, so here we are. Oh, we could do this part. Yes. And I love a ferry. Like, put me on a boat. I love a good boat ride. And this one was like a 3-hour ferry, so it wasn't anything crazy. It was across like a very calm section of water. Like, we've been on the rough ferries before. I get it. Those are not fun. But this one was fine. It was totally fine. No problems at all. Okay, I need to get out of here. And it was like at sunset. So we were on this ferry at sunset. It was beautiful. Oh, it was incredible. And then we get to this port town in Wales. And it's very clearly a port town, right? Like, there's not a lot going on besides the port, which is fine. You know, it is what it is. But you could tell, like, Wales felt poorer, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, in like as nicely as I can. It just felt more poor than Ireland or Germany. Well, definitely more poor than Germany or like Denmark or any of those other places. The UK in general, our time there felt that way in comparison to the other places that we had been, but more expensive. And I think that's the part I struggled with, is like, it looked like the people were struggling more, but everything there was more expensive. And maybe that's why, right? But that was kind of how it felt and what we noticed right away. But we spent the night in that little port town because the rental car place, I'm not, and like, I want you to know, I'm not trying to say this to be offensive in any sort of way, but that is something that we really noticed. And I don't know if it's like, my thought process was more like, is it like the taxation that's going into there, or like the rules and regulations seemed similar to like, it's really expensive in the US right now too. So, and I feel like I could see that paralleled more in the UK and like the struggles that I see here than anywhere else, was something that I noticed. But we picked up our rental car first thing Monday morning, and we went to, I think it's a Riri National Park. It's Snowdonia. And we had train tickets for this train that took us up Mount Snowdon, and then we hiked down. So we had one-way train tickets, and that was really fun. Beautiful train ride. I should have radish seeds. Yep. Love Snowdonia. I loved doing it this way. Because we like crammed so much into such a short period of time, taking the train ride up was perfect. It saved us so much time. I mean, it was a little pricey, but it was worth it for us to get both experiences in the one day that we were going to spend there. Yellow, hello, how are you? How is the new apartment? House? It's an apartment, right? No, I'm out of water. Snowdonia was beautiful. We did find a nice quiet spot. I'm really excited about these drone shots because we were able to get the trains. Like, they had two little passenger trains like carrying people up, like cresting the mountains, and it was just so beautiful. Apartment is great. Meeting a possible cat today. What happened? What about the cat you sent me? What happened with that one? I'm so glad the apartment is great. You guys honestly deserve something to be great after all of the problems with that other apartment. And then having to move. And like, I get it. It's fun. It's great having a parent's house to move back into, but it is like, all right, I'm ready to be on my own. The first cat turned out to be an escaped artist that knows how to open locked windows. Oh, yep. Not ideal for apartment life. Knows how to open locked windows is crazy. A large percentage of your viewers seem to be like my IRL friends. Only 2, I would say, that have been here today are my IRL friends. I mean, it is a smaller, I do have a handful that will pop in from time to time, but like total out of all my followers, probably like 5 are IRL friends, but Right. It's a very small percentage. I also feel like Yellow, I have known since the beginning of streaming time. Yellow was one of my first viewers, so I feel like it might seem like I know them in real life, but like I've been talking to them almost every day for, well, Yellow, it's almost been a year. I feel like I first started streaming to like 2 people in like May or June or July, I feel like. I wish I was. Time goes by so fast. I know. It really does go by so fast. So I will say like that. I don't know a large percentage in real life. I just am very invested in everybody's lives. And then Small also streams. So then Small hangs out with me in the morning, and then I hang out with Small for the rest of the day. So I practically know her in real life because we just talk all day, every day, pretty much. If they open up, they kind of ish. Yeah, right. Like, but I think like that's one of my favorite parts about streaming is being able to have a community that does feel comfortable. Like, I want to hear about what's going on in everybody's lives. I want to know what you all are up to, or like when big moments happen or big things happen. Like I feel like I'm a chronic oversharer. Boo, rigged the other way now. So I feel like that makes it easier too, right? Like if I open up to people, they open up back type of thing. But yeah, I would say like a very small percentage are like my IRL friends. Oversharing? Never knew her. But yes, so back to Wales. We were in Snowdonia for the day, and then we went to, I know I already talked about this castle Airbnb, and I loved the castle Airbnb. Oh, it must be the Trout Derby. let me tell you about this Airbnb we went to outside of, it was outside of like in between Snowdonia and Brecon Beacons, because we were going to Brecon Beacons the next day to hike Penifon. And it was the cutest Airbnb. It was like this little tiny home with this wood-fired hot tub, which sounds great in practice, or like, it sounds great. It was not so great in practice. We were like, ooh, this would be great. We could build this. We would have a hot tub. Like, I love the smell of a wood-fired stove. It's so cool. It was so fun. The problem was it was too cold, so we added a log. And then it was way too hot and we couldn't get in. So we were like pouring cold water in and trying to get it to it was like, when I say too hot, I don't mean it was like 104. I mean, it was 108, 110, like 42 degrees Celsius. Way too hot for me to manage. But that was a really fun evening. We bought one thing we really missed about New Zealand was the meat pies. I love a good meat pie. I don't know why the US doesn't have them. Like, I feel like that's right up our alley. People here love their chicken pot pies. Why not just put beef stew in them? Anyway, we got a couple of different frozen meat pies, Sweeney Todd. And, what did we do? We did like a taste tester. We bought 2 bottles of cheap wine because, you know, we're still balling on a budget, even though this trip was really expensive. And we cooked up our meat pies. We poured ourselves some glasses of wine. We did our little taste test while we waited for the hot tub to cool down because it was 1,000 degrees. And we went and enjoyed our wine in the hot tub that evening. And it was really great. It was such a lovely, and like, the little tiny home and hot tub overlooked this field with and you know me, I love a good cow, with the cows in the field. And it was so cute. It was a great Airbnb. I'm very good at, not to like toot my own horn or anything, but I am very good at picking out an Airbnb because we don't stay in them often. So if we are going to stay in them, I want it to be unique. I mean, Disco can tell you, I made her stay in a tiny house when she came and visited me. And that one was fine. But it was definitely unique, I would say. What do I look for? Honestly, I will drive farther away if it's more like, I'll look up specifically unique Airbnbs. You can actually specifically like ask Airbnb to show you the more unique ones. The Spanish TV. Oh yeah, one of our hotels, we call it the Michael Scott TV because it's like this big and in the corner of the room. That TV was tough because we could not get it to change languages no matter what we did. It was logged out of everything. Remember the Roku wasn't even logged in and we were like, well, I guess we'll play a game. But that was fun. We made the most of it. I will say, when you do book the more unique Airbnbs, they are a little quirkier sometimes, but that's part of their charm, I think. But no, we'll look for ones like in the woods or on a farm or like we stayed in an Airstream one time, like a converted Airstream, or like this one was a super cute, it was like a Hobbit house. It looked like a Hobbit house and it had I'll send pictures in the Discord. I need to create a new channel and I'm going to call it travel, and then everybody can share their travel photos because I have a lot. But yeah, I do love a good unique place to stay. All of you can go. How do I only get 1 golden tag? But we loved that Airbnb. And we woke up really early the next morning. Ooh, a maki roll. To go hike Penifon. Okay, so the weather up to this point has been immaculate. We feel so lucky. It has been sunny every day. It rained a little bit one day, but cleared up when we were in Germany. It rained in the morning, cleared up by the time we made it to Mittenwald. We did our hike, and by the time we were leaving, it rained again, but it did not affect us at all. The day we went to hike Penafon, it was very overcast. It looked like it was going to rain. That's fine. We'd been preparing for rain the entire trip. Like when we were packing, we expected it to rain the entire trip. So we knew our luck was going to run out. It just stinks that our luck ran out. Oh, yours has been terribly moody recently. You even had an earthquake. Oh my gosh. A small quake, no damage. Okay, good. I was about to say, how bad was it? Still scary. Still not ideal. I'm glad there was no damage, though. All right, this is the last one. But yeah, we'd been really lucky with the weather while we were there. And then, bam, we go to do our big hike. This was the only day we had a big hike planned. It was going to be, I think it was like a 9-mile round trip hike. So 15-ish kilometers, something like that. And we kept being like, it'll clear up. We left at 5, got there at like 8. So we really thought it was gonna, oh, you heard like a huge boom and then shakes came after that, then disappeared. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that doesn't sound like an earthquake to me. That sounds like something else. Like, I'm not gonna say like a power plant blew up, but like, it sounds like something caused the earthquake, not that there was just, because earthquakes, the thing about them is it measured at like 4.3 on the scale. Okay, yeah, we had a 4.3 earthquake. The only earthquake I remember ever feeling in Virginia when I was in middle school, maybe. And I remember, we didn't hear a boom that I recall, but my little sister and I were cleaning out our hot tub on the back deck, and I really thought she broke something, and the hot tub was like shaking the deck. And then my dad came running out from the basement, and he was like, "Did you feel that? That was an earthquake." And we were like, "Yep, we sure did." You mean it wasn't my little sister messing up things? But I'm glad there was no like major damage. That's huge. I know earthquakes can be absolutely devastating. I mean, ours was only like a 4, I feel like, and it messed up the Capitol building. Our Capitol, because Virginia is very close to Washington, D.C., and I feel like it messed the Washington Monument, the giant pencil, was like, it cracked it, I believe it cracked it. Devastated the neighbor's glass lantern. I'm sure they were devastated. So that probably does matter to them. Get rewards. We got a tent kit. Cool. Oh, today's the last day. Whatever. I don't need a giant fish to hang on my wall. Anyway, we got to go back to the mines here soon. We'll go tomorrow. But yes, when we went to hike Penafon, we kept thinking it would clear up, and then we kept hiking up into this mountain. And this is, I believe it's the tallest mountain in like the southern UK. Gotta scurry. Okay. Bye. I'll talk to you later. I actually do need to talk to you. Not about anything in particular. I just feel like I haven't talked to you in a while. Do you remember, was Cheddar a screamer the first few nights he moved in with us? He was not. He was a kitten. He was a big baby. We will call at some point Deal. He's a big baby. No, he was a literal baby. He was like this big. And I do remember the first night he threw up the entire night from stress. And I truly thought I had gotten a bum kitten and he was going to die the first night I had him. I was up all night with him. I remember, because Eric and I did not live together at this point. I remember waiting until I knew Eric's alarm was off and I texted him and I was like, I think my cat's going to die. And he was like, I think you're being dramatic. Turns out I was, and he was fine the next day. But I will say, he told me kittens get sick when we were first with Cheddar for FIP, and then Cheddar turned out to actually be dying. So trust your parents, your parent intuition, I would say. I can't really do much because I'm out of energy, so we're just going to replenish our fodder and kind of clean this up some. But no, he wasn't really a screamer the first few nights. He just was a baby. Yes, my infertile mama intuition. Exactly. My cat mother intuition. That's where all of my intuition comes from, is from being exclusively a cat mom. Okay. We're going to go to bed because we don't have any energy. Do I have enough fruit to do anything with? No. Oh, right. So, Pinafon. We kept going up into the clouds. It was scary. I'm not going to lie. It was like... Oh, this one today is maybe a year old. That's a baby. A year old is a baby. It looked like we were going to walk off the edge. We have since looked up videos of what it was supposed to look like, and it looks beautiful. The green rain. The green rain is coming tomorrow. That's exciting. Hold on one second. Okay. I know you're busy on the farm. Okay, Dad. Thank you for the rocks. What happened to the $500, huh? A Shellos has appeared. But it actively looked like we were going to walk off the side of the mountain. That's how cloudy it was. It was kind of crazy. But it was still like really pretty. I would say it was not worth it. We would not do that hike again unless the weather was like actually beautiful, because we've looked up videos and like pictures of it, and it looks like a really beautiful hike, a really beautiful place. We did not get to experience that, I will say. I want you and you. Yep. But we're still glad we did it. We can say we've hiked the tallest mountain in southern Britain. Woohoo. I need to give that melon to Demetrius. And yeah, it was a really long day. It took us it actually didn't take us as long as we thought it would. It took I don't know, 6 hours maybe total to do the hike. And that was with filming and stopping. But the winds up at the top were so fast. It was like 40-mile-an-hour winds. Like we were being blown all over, every which way. So that was not ideal. And we were going deaf because we had our rain jackets up over and the wind was just blowing them. It was a great time. We had a ton of fun, if you can't tell. But I'm still glad we did it. That was the only day we had to do it, because then we went to Cardiff, which I was not a huge fan of Cardiff, if I'm being completely honest. I just wasn't the biggest fan of it. You're not going to love every place you travel to. That's what I had to keep telling myself. But it was a great place for us to drop the rental car off. And we're going to the mines. Sure. And spend the night to hop on a train to go to London the next day. You see gold as bits. You can't see yourself paying a salad for 220 gold. Converted to US D, that's $2.20. That's a good salad price. Way before, yeah, that's fair. You make a good point. Dad gave me 50. What did he give me? He gave me stones. He didn't even give me money this time. Usually he does give me money. That's why I like being the girl, because Dad sends money. Mom sends cookies. Yeah, he gave me stones. I don't know why I got stones, what I did to deserve stones, but I got rocks from Dad. In this economy, stones, that's fair. The stones are worth more than dollars in this economy. Not in the Stardew economy. Not in the Stardew economy. Okay. Oh, we did use my Too Good To Go app while we were over there. There's so many options, which was incredible. And the place we went in London, we actually... So if you mine in real life and own a big mining company, but you mine stones, that's called a quarry. They do have those. That is called a quarry. Quarries are where you mine the stones and the rocks and the gravel. So iron comes from a mine. It deals in digging big hole. That's fair. Quarries are mostly surface. I don't think underground quarries are really a thing, because there's so much rock on the surface that there's no point in spending the time or money to go underground. You just do that mountaintop removal, baby. Look at me with all the miner knowledge. I really want Eric to get me a tour at his mine so I can see. Some countries don't have the privilege of quarries, mines. Like, they don't have the natural resources for it. That is also something we think about everywhere we go. Are there... Oh, the basic stone. I'll tell you what. Ireland sure did. They had those stone fences everywhere. Wales did too. If you want to dig a huge hole, I recommend the game. A game about digging a hole. Wait, that's really funny. Read. Woohoo, we learned a new power. I trust everything Taylor says about mining because Eric is like Diglett. Base rock, drain rock, sand. Yeah, most people from Eric's class ended up in quarries versus mines, but that's... I think more of that is because people don't like to leave their home state, and we are traveling. Gold, silver, molybdenum, sand quarries. Ooh. I actually deal with quarries. I do not. Eric, however, is actually down in the mines currently. That is his life's work. That's how we make half of our, well, a little more than half of our living. I don't make as much as he does, but I also don't have to go underground every day. So, you know, checks and balances. No. He's a mine engineer, so he does ventilation, which means that he makes sure that, because it's a massive underground mine, like massive. I don't know how big, but I know it's big enough for them to like drive heavy machinery around and all of the things. He handles the fans, like giant fans, and makes sure that they're getting good air and clean air and can breathe, and that there's no He does a lot of radon testing and making sure that the radon, he knows his way around shafts. What are they mining at his mine? I'm going to type it in here. It's an element. Molybdenum. How do you spell that? Molybdenum. I believe that's how you spell it. Because it's a hard word to... we just call it Molly. Molly's just the easier term for it, but he mines molybdenum. And so molybdenum, what it does is it's a steel reinforcer. So it's used heavily to make steel. It's an element. So it's just in the... what does it look like? Hold on. Molybdenum. It looks like this. Hold on. It's so pretty. I kind of want him to bring some home. That'd be sweet. It literally looks like tinfoil. Yeah, it does. It does look like aluminum foil. Let me see if I can throw the image in here because I just grabbed it. Image. We're just going to call it Molly. Browse. I just downloaded her. I got to get faster at this. There she is. That's what a molybdenum looks like. He is working for a company. He does not get paid in commission. Yeah, he's just like hoards it all and then no, he works for a company. It looks tasty. Some nice crunchy molybdenum. Yum. I want to put it in my mouth. You guys all want to eat it. I want him to bring me some home. He says sometimes they find fun rocks. So I want him to bring me some fun rocks home. We have a lot of rocks in our house. I don't have any on my desk. I should move some to my desk. But we do get a lot of rocks. Wanting to eat anything. We're like Cheddar. Cheddar doesn't eat rocks, but he does try. He'll lick a rock and be like, not what I want. Actually, that sounds not ideal for me. Because he's a big brat boy. Big time brat boy. Okay. What am I doing? But yeah, so that's what Eric does. He's a mine guy. To the mines. Go buy the chocolate fake rocks. It'll satisfy a craving you never knew you had. Just lace it with cat food. I'm sure he's gonna have a good time breaking his teeth. He probably won't even taste it. He'll just swallow it whole. That's the problem. He doesn't chew. That sounds very enticing. I used to love rock candy. Just what I needed. Thank you for the money. For his melon research. Has he found Francium? I have no idea, to be honest with you. It's possible. So the thing about what they do is they're only mining for molybdenum because the mine that they work at has high grade. So there's like multiple grades to it. So they do send it to a mill and the mill will then sort out everything else. And I don't know, like a lot of that goes to what's called tailings, which is where they it gets pushed away to the wayside, more or less. But I don't know if there's like lower grade or mid grade or other things, if they'll actually sort that out and send it somewhere else. We have a friend who works at the mill, so I could probably ask him. You have synthetic alexandrite. So I love alexandrite. That's what I want we're in the process of designing my engagement ring and I want alexandrite on there. Not like there'll be a diamond as the main stone, but I do want alexandrite as like stones on the side because it's so beautiful. Oh, and it changes colors. No, but hear me out. Why would you eat rocks when you can just have garlic bread? You made cheesy garlic bread. That sounds so good. I love garlic bread. I need to make more things. I'm like, I need to start experimenting more with my sourdough. And I think my next thing is I'm going to try and make some crackers. And by experimenting, I mean making things other, like we want to make some hamburger buns, and I do want to make some crackers, because if there's one thing about me, I love cheese. I love Cheddar, my cat, but I also love cheese. Give me a good brie bake with some garlic and oil and some baby tomatoes around it, and just stick that baby in the air fryer for a little while. It's so good. So, we need crackers. What are crackers in the US? Mostly poison. So, we're going to make our own crackers with our sourdough discard. Sent the rocks in the Discord chat. Now I got to look at these. Okay. Disco put a picture of the guinea pig in Pets, and I really thought that... Oh, hey, look. I fixed it. There are, you can post links in the self-promo channel now. Look at me go. Where, Yellow? I don't see it. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not in food. The only thing that had something was Pets, and it's Disco. Just kidding. I lied. That's grunge, not disco. Disco's a different piggy. Oh, whoops. You got bread rolls and cut into it and put cheese and garlic butter and melted it. Oh, that sounds so good. With fish and corn. Yum. General? Oh, that's fine. I don't see it in either, to be honest with you. Listen, of course we have a food channel. We love food. We love food here. That was like one of the biggest things I had to teach Eric, is he's one of those, I eat food for sustenance, and I'm one of those, I eat food as an experience. So I had to get him on the food is an experience to be enjoyed train. There's a Toxapex in the PCG. Okay, we are out of energy. There'll be green rain tomorrow, so let me prep myself for the green rain. And tomorrow will be a big money-making day, and we should be able to buy the bus. Woohoo! Hello? Pokey catch. Ah! At least I can... Boo! I didn't mean to do that. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. We'll keep that. We'll keep that. We'll keep that. That can go. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. Go to bed, lady. Sin again. It bugged out. Ooh. Ooh! Mystery boxes. Mystery boxes can now be found. Yeehaw. You sent it again. Oh! Chocolate boulders. The way those look so much like real rocks, that would be crazy. I know we've already talked about pica before, so we'll probably not talk about it again, but definitely somebody would think you had pica if you were just snacking on those in public. Definitely. Dude, nobody's online yet. Interesting. A green rain has descended upon the valley. Yeah, I've gotten some glances. Oh well, it happens to the best of us. Okay, let's do this. Let's make some money today, shall we? What's happening? I'm not sure what will happen, but if anyone wants to take shelter in the saloon, I'll keep it open all day. Oh, you sweet summer children. We'll pick this, we'll pick this. What do we have in here? There we go. Okay, our chickens are in here. I will make sure they have food so they're not mad at me. You know how it goes. Hi, babies. Moving right along. There we go. I should upgrade my everything, but here we... Well, I guess my axe is upgraded. I do need to upgrade my pickaxe here soon. Do we think Joja Mart is still open? I know nothing else is today, but Joja Mart might be. All right, let's get all of this, shall we? When do we think 1.7 is going to come out? I'm ready. It could come out tomorrow and I'm ready. I feel like it's just going to be randomly dropped one day. We'll wake up and it'll be there. 2028. No, stop. That's when we're expecting chocolatier. Okay? Or 2042. Oh, have some more faith in our guy. He do be side questing a lot, I will say. $21.32. He's in a steel band now. I know. That's what I'm saying. He's just side questing it up, rocking the steel drum. His Stardew clone. The chocolatier. I'm curious how that game's gonna hit, you know? It's tough to follow up something like this, I think. I mean, this game is classic. Oh my gosh, that reminds me, I am working on getting my like professional event meeting planner certification, blah, 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 blah. But in order to do that, I need to get a bunch of like education credits, which means I need to like take these classes. And I signed up for this class and I had my first class yesterday. And the woman teaching the class, she was like, make sure while you're studying, like, you reward yourself. You want to know how I reward myself? I reward myself by playing Stardew Valley. And I was like, me too, girl. Me too. I also reward myself by playing Stardew Valley. And I just thought that was really funny because I bet the majority of the people in the class are like, what is Stardew Valley? And I'm over here like, yes, me too. Love me some Stardew Valley. Who is Softy Selena? Oh, I can go through. I'll go check. They just joined our server. Grr, hiss, grr. We'll see. We'll give him a chance, but I'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep an eye on it. I like how protective you are over the server, Void. Newer game engine. You hope the modding won't be as messy. The memory leaks are a nightmare. Yeah, that is fair. I mean, it will be much newer, so we got that going for us as far. But I don't know. It's just hard. How do you compete with perfection, you know? Surprised we haven't gotten more corn bots. I know. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm really bad about the Discord. I need to be better. And like, I do purge it, But I feel bad because, like, what if somebody just goes on vacation and then they get booted? But I do have, like, things looking specifically to, like, purge people who seem scammy. Yeah, I can't blame him, though. He would never expect Stardew Valley to blow up big. And the modding community did make a trillion mods. I love them. But there are so many. I'm already thinking, like, what's our next playthrough gonna be? Expanded? I don't know. We'll find out. Joja Run felt like what I needed to do for the Steam achievement. I do need to complete all the Steam achievements. I'm just so bad at Prairie King that it may never happen, to be honest with you. Stardew After Dark. You wouldn't be able to make Stardew After Dark. You would be very asleep. Or it would be very early in your morning. I'm actually shocked that we're able to hang out as much as we are. And I know it's mostly because I'm on so early, like my time. But after being in Finland and Sweden and like trying to talk to Eric time zone wise, I was like, this is awful. This is the worst time zone to be in because it's like 9 hours. The content in that mod keeps you up all night. He did update the game engine, but not enough for the insane mods. Oh yeah, and I have very few mods. Why did I think we had the corn meme? We don't. It must be somebody else. It must be the streamer you cheat on me with. I'm totally kidding. Yet. Dun, 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 dun. We don't have it yet. Whee! Gasp! You watch other streamers? Whee! I'm starting to feel exhausted. Great. Okay, what was I here? He saw the game blew up and instead shifted 3/4 of his attention to a new game that looks 90% similar. Well, okay, to be fair, this game has been out for 10 years, right? Like it just celebrated its 10-year anniversary, and it is like that's his style of gaming, and it also is in the same world. It's not Stardew Valley, but he has it in the same, or yeah, from my understanding is it's in the same world, right? I wasn't talking about bad corn. Oh, it's corn. We do have like a it's corn a bit alert thing, I think. I don't even remember. It's been so long. I was so confused. Also, tell Taylor not to leave me for 3 weeks, and that's valid. You make some valid points I cannot argue with. I won't. I should not be doing that again for a very long time, if ever. There'll be a couple like 1 week trips, but it should never be more than 1 full week. For at the very least the rest of this year. That's all I can guarantee. I don't know what my next year looks like. I've kept myself pure for you. I've been celibate this whole time. In Chrissy's defense, she also streams, so she at the very least is watching herself. I'm sure the community wants a couple of new games from Concerned Ape. Yeah, no, I do think that like it does make sense, and it is. Oh, that scared me. That scared me. Bruh. For some reason, that did not come through clearly, and it sounded so scary. Did that come through clearly for y'all? I don't know why that scared me so bad, but it sounded scary. We're just making money. Making our way downtown. Only in my right ear. Well, at least it came through. That's progress. He literally admitted that he's basically a supervisor now where they do most of the work and he glances over it. Yeah, I mean, I do get where you're coming from. I really do. It's also, like, unfortunately, that's also just the natural, I feel like that's the natural progression of things like this, whether we like it or not. That is just how these things naturally progress. It was like, makes game, gets big. I mean, that's like in life too. I feel like. But I do see where you're coming from because he has also explicitly been like, I'm, you know, super. My brother Void. The Voids. It is a pixel game. There is no grinding coding. Do. I'm trying to think of a game that we get updates very frequently on. I don't really play it, but I know, like, let me think. All right, guys. All right. Everything's okay. Everything is fine. We're just out here getting some green things. We're just out here getting some green things. Letting the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. Terraria is a pixel game with infrequent updates. Ah. Yeah, that's fair. I agree. I'm not a video game developer. I'm just a video game enthusiast. Minecraft has semi-frequent updates. I know that's very controversial. I'm not gonna lie. I have not touched the world of Minecraft. I know nothing about it. Literally nothing. Julia, hello, I'm back. How are you? We're just gonna sell everything. We'll keep those. How has it been? It's been so long. It feels like it's been so long. I'm doing good. I planted my garden this weekend and it's supposed to drop down to 17 degrees. So all my plants are, I'm hoping it's early enough that they just don't grow. They're not gonna die. They're just not gonna grow, you know? But it's great. Just working in the office so you can't stay long, but you're happy to see you back. I'm happy to be back. Like, I loved traveling and it was so much fun. I had the best time, but I am very happy to be home. I'm happy to be back with my little cheese and it's been great. It is just nice sleeping in your own bed. Again, I slept in like 14 different beds and I'm just very happy to be sleeping in my own bed again. Am I going to Antarctica? I would love to go to Antarctica, to be honest with you. I miss Cheddar. Let me grab him for you before you have to go. My next country to travel? Come here, Ched. Here he is. Here's the boy. You want to stretch out your back toesies? Oh. The insane conspiracy theories. Ooh. There you go. I love him. Me too. I also love him. How we doing, little buddy boy? He's just cozying up for free food. No, he was just like asleep in the bed. So now he's like ready to go back to bed. Pause. Look at that. His head just went straight down. He said, "You woke me for why?" Please bless the kitty visit today. I want her in my home. Yes. Bless the kitty visit. Say, Yellow is going to find the sweetest, most perfectest cat. Right? Look at that boy. Ollie ate a whole piece of pizza last night. Well, Cheddar ate a whole quesadilla while he was being watched at my friend's house. So, he's not that sweet either. Oh, I love him. Sweet Ollie. He is zen. I take it as a good sign. The real Garfield. Eating lasagnas. He would 100% crush a lasagna if he had the chance to. Look at those paws. He's just like, here. He's so cute. He is. I missed him so much. Okay, you want to get up there? Or do you want to be on my lap? What do you want? He's not sure. He's like, I just woke up. I actually think I'll go back to the bed here soon. Yeah? You want to go back to bed? Or do you want to be on my lap? He wants to be on my lap. His middle name is Garfield. His last name is Trouble. His other middle name is Pop because that was his... He was a snack crackle Pop. He was in the Rice Krispie litter. It was him and two siblings. He does love his mom. He says, "Mom, please don't ever leave me again. I can't believe you did that." So, it is what it is. Sorry, buddy. He's the best boy. He has the cutest cheeks. I love to squish his cheeks. He's just a baby. Rice Krispie litter. I loved Rice Krispies as a kid. It was fate. It was fate. He's the best cat. Okay, hopefully we make a lot of money today. How strict am I with him? Oh, yeah. No, he's on we feed him... They discontinued the Rice Krispie in your country? No more Snap, Crackle, Pop. That's tragic. I loved Rice Krispies as a kid. And I know that they have so much sugar in them. I used to put spoonfuls of sugar in my Rice Krispie treats, I'm not gonna lie. And then that sugary milk at the bottom. So good. So good. But no, he is on a strict... He has an auto feeder that drops food for him at 12 o'clock noon. So it's his lunch. And then in the morning, he gets wet food. And in the evening, he gets wet food. And then at night, he gets a scavenger hunt. He already looks like it. Oh, listen, he is probably 13 pounds right now. He is a perfect weight. My monthly visit needs sugar to survive. Honestly, you're so right. I could consume 8 bowls of Rice Krispies and still not be full. I love cereal. What I've started doing, because we don't really buy cereal in this household anymore, is I put my granola in a bowl and I add milk and I drizzle honey over the top, and that's my cereal. I eat that like cereal. I crush some of that. Free King Chedward from his diet. I did. Once he was like better, when he felt better and he wasn't sick anymore, I did free him from his diet. And he got up to 17 pounds. And the vet was like, hey, so remember those shots you gave him every day? Do you want to do that for the rest of his life if he gets diabetes? And I said, good point. I will not be doing that. Gotta speed off. Good luck with the cat. Keep me updated. Let me know how it goes. I hope you guys are adding a fun little cute, sweet, furry baby to your household. But yes, keep me updated. I know he enjoyed that queso. He loves cheese. Breakfast for dinner is a must. I love breakfast for dinner. I'm a huge biscuits and gravy gal, but something about them are so good. but I don't really eat breakfast anymore. I'm more of an intermittent fasting type of gal, and so I make biscuits and gravy for dinner sometimes, and it's my favorite thing. I love it so much. And we finally have gotten to the point where we can make homemade biscuits from our sourdough, and we can make gravy on our own too. Homemade gravy, and it's divine. It's like my favorite thing. I love it. Oh, I love food. I'm just selling everything. Why not? Actually, I'll keep you guys. How do you ration the treats? I make him work for them. That's really what it comes down to. I don't really ration them, but he doesn't get them every day either. So, like, he has a treat redeem on here where he'll get treats. But other than that, it's really just... I need my watering can. It really is just like... We just make him work for his treats if he gets them. He doesn't get them every day. They're literally that, right? They're treats. They're special occasions. He does like to lick, if I'm making like avocado toast or something and I put cottage cheese on it, he does like to lick. I let him lick the spoon with the cottage cheese. He does love that. It's the 24th. We're just gonna leave these empty so we can redo this with our quality sprinklers. Oh, y'all, I love a good breakfast burrito. Wrap the eggs in a pancake and add syrup. I don't do eggs and syrup. I will say that. Can't do that. But I do love a good breakfast burrito. In New Zealand, in Queenstown, there was this little bakery. It was called Ferg's. And they had... like meat pies and breakfast burritos. And I don't know what they put in those breakfast burritos, but they were so freaking good. They had like some sort of jam or chutney in them, and it was just so good. I do have a max. It's only 2,500 for a treat. Yeah, but there is a max per stream, so you would get cut out because he's just a baby. He's just a baby. It's the butter and the grease. Very rich. I love potatoes and bacon. We're going to try and grow some potatoes this year. We bought some potatoes that we're starting to eye out at the grocery store because it's such a scam. I want to say, like, you buy the potatoes in the seed form, and they're just eyed out potatoes. It's literally just a potato that's like sprouted. And I was like, why are we gonna pay $3 for 2 potato sprouts or whatever it was, when we could just buy our own potatoes that are about to sprout out and then plant them ourselves. So that's what we'll be doing in this economy. Exactly. He's just a baby. He really is just a baby. Just a little baby. Oops. Not yet. We're waiting for our potatoes to eye out. But I did bring this notebook over here to tell you guys what I'm growing. This is our experiment year. We've never grown crops in general because we've never had the space to. Like, we've had tomatoes on our balcony or whatnot. But this is our garden bed one. This is the one we planted on Saturday. It's our root and cabbage planter because these are all our hardy cold weather crops. And I have space to garden now. I am an all-around gardener. So we have 3 different types of radishes to kind of see which grows best and which we like. We should be able to grow radishes because they theoretically grow so fast and it never gets hot here. We should theoretically be able to grow radishes until like October. We should just be able to keep replanting and replanting and have tons of radishes. So we have champion radishes, winter radishes, scarlet globe radishes in the first section. And then we have a bunch of rows of carrots because we love carrots here. And then we have 2 rows of turnips. 4 technically, 2 rows of each type. We have 7 top turnips and purple top turnips. And then we have 2 rows of beets. we'll see what goes with that. And then we have cabbage on the edge. I wish we could have chickens. I really do. You love that you map the garden out on paper because people laugh at me for doing, well, I want to know what's where. There's no way I'm going to remember. And there's no way I'm going to take it out of the ground and be like, oh yes, this is a scarlet globe radish. No, I'm going to be like, this is in this section. It's probably a scarlet globe radish. Chickens are amazing. I really wish we could have chickens here. We can't, that we know of. We're going to look, but chicken feed is costly. So chickens are pretty easy. It's good to know because it's not a good idea to plant in the same location twice. Yep. So we have 3 raised beds out there and we can rotate what we have in them. So that's our first bed. That's the one that's currently covered. And then I've planted some spring onions up right behind the planter, like on our mountain, so that they can grow and we can, do everything that we need there. And then this is our next page. This is our we have like a seed starter that's inside currently that we're waiting. I'll keep you guys updated. Do I have a gardening channel? Because I feel like I need one. Garden and plants. Yes, I do. I'll send you guys pictures of my plants as they start to sprout. We cannot grow fruit trees here. We do not get nearly enough water, unfortunately. I would love some fruit trees. Eric and his brothers own some of his grandfather's land up in New York, and we did plant some apple trees up there. So we're hoping we get some apples from them eventually. We just planted them last year, so they still have a couple of years to go. But hopefully eventually we'll be able to get stuff from those trees. But no, where we are, it's way too dry. So yeah. In our starter, we have our cucumbers, our squash, and I know you're not supposed to transplant them, but we need to have them freaking on their way, It's time. And cheddar cheese growing for cheddar. Yeah, we do need some cheese crops, huh, Cheddar? You'd love that. Eric grew up on a dairy farm, and he's like, I never want to milk a cow again in his life. And I'm like, but our homestead, we need one milker. We can breed her with a beefer and have a little beef calf to take half the milk so we don't need all of it, but a little beefer would be cute. But yeah, we're growing cucumbers, squash, zucchini, summer squash, broccoli, lettuce, spinach, butter crunch lettuce. We have a couple of chili peppers growing, some cherry tomatoes growing, and some kale growing. A Sudowoodo has appeared in the PCG. Whee! You wish you owned an olive farm? You love olive trees. You love olives. I also love olives. I also don't think we could grow olives here. We do not have the climate for it. We do not have a good growing climate. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, we'll probably end up with the dairy cow because I want one. But that's not at this house. This house, we definitely cannot do any of that with because we just don't have the space. I don't know. I would assume that they are different trees, but I really, truly do not know if it's just like, well, because like Kalamata olives are obviously different from black olives, which I would assume are different from green olives. But green olives in my brain are like green tomatoes where maybe they're just picked early. I don't know enough about olives. We're growing for ourselves. We are big lame and we write like goals for us for each year. And one of our goals for each year is to be able to eat one meal fully grown by ourselves. You love yellow figs too. I'm not a huge fig gal, but I also haven't had figs in years, so maybe I am now. Maybe my taste buds have changed, but I remember not liking them. Yeah, olive trees do need like a Mediterranean climate, which the mountains of Colorado are not. Let me just tell you, they're not at all. Okay, let's go to town and purchase our upgrade. This will be my last day because your girl has got to get to work, but we'll get through this day. Do we have enough space to make a micro greenhouse? Yes, I think so. We could. With the micro greenhouse, you can manipulate the climate. Yeah, and we have a hydroponics in here where we have our herbs growing. We need to replant our basil because she's big dead. Okay, green and black olives are the same tree, just picked at different times of the year. Perfect. That's kind of what I thought, but I didn't. I know there's different kinds of olives too. Interesting. That's good to know. Yeah, so I would love some sort of greenhouse. I think this is our first year being in this house. So this year is kind of our experimentation year. We want to see what we are actually able to grow outside. And then, yes, I do want a micro greenhouse or some sort of greenhouse situation where we can grow other things or grow things for longer periods of time. We want a massive hydroponic setup in our house. So that we can grow like lettuces year round because we eat a lot of salad in this household. Infinite free food. Exactly. Fun to experiment once you get it going. I agree. And I need to get a binder because I'm crazy. A little binder with all the pockets. I saw one on, I'm like deep into gardening TikTok right now, but I'm in zone freaking 4. So we have a very short growing season. Our last frost isn't until like June. And so we're pretty limited on our growing season. So I definitely want to do whatever I can to help lengthen that and make sure our plants are doing fine. We do have some peppers and tomatoes that we bought like already started, and they're currently inside because they would not, it's way too cold for them this week. But we got them outside over the weekend when it was really sunny, and we'll just keep doing that until they can be outside permanently. And then we have 2 large metal bins outside. One of them we're going to plant our potatoes in, and the other one we're going to make an herb bed. I also have a ton of flower seeds. Again, I'm just throwing things to the wind and seeing what sticks at this point. We're just doing our best out here to see what we can do, I guess. And so we're going to throw our wildflowers out probably after this cold snap happens. We'll get those out there because their main time is like, I'm trying to think. We went wildflower chasing last year, and around the 4th of July, I think, is when they were really in their high bloom. So we still have time to get those guys out there. But they're great for like, we have some hummingbird feeders. We get a lot of hummingbirds up here. So we want to get those out, and we want flowers that like promote hummingbirds and pollinators. Like, I love bees. I want them all to love our house. Grow gigantic pumpkins. We did throw some like our jack-o'-lanterns from this year out there to see if we grow anything. But the problem is, because we're in such a dry area, we will have water restrictions this summer because we didn't get enough snow. Like, there's no if or but, like, we will be restricted on our water usage this year. So it's hard. We can't grow things that are very high water. Like, I'm worried about our cucumbers. We are going to make our own water catchment system, but the thing is, it doesn't rain. So that only really works if you get rain, and we don't. So we are doing that. So we're going to try and do what we can. And like, we've read a lot about drought gardening and ways we can save water. People are like, hey, when you're waiting for your shower to warm up, put a bucket in your shower so that it collects all the water while you're waiting. No. Dig a huge hole in the ground to find spring water. So we're up on a mountain. I really think that we would have to dig very, very far down, like hundreds of feet down, to find water because of like our elevation, which is another thing. I don't know if that affects. It's very hard to find information on farming in dry areas because very few people live in zone 4, and up at 9,000 feet of elevation. Like, we're so high that nobody has much out there on like gardening at elevation. So we really are just kind of shooting from the hip and seeing what we are able to do and what sticks this year. It is very expensive drilling for a water source. Your grandparents did it. Yeah. No, we are. We're trying to live out on a rock. Yep, exactly. That's what we are doing. And it's beautiful. I love it. But yeah, for gardening, it's not ideal. But we're doing what we can, you know? Like I said, huge experimentation year. The water you get from it looks amazing. I grew up on well water, and if we could do that here, we would 100% would, but it would be tens of thousands of dollars for us to drill. And I also don't think we're allowed to, just because we're all connected to our town, and it's a town of 150 people. So like, it's not a big town, but we're all connected. So we all do share whatever water source we have. But I do know that if we had the option to, I 100% would, because I grew up on well water and I love well water. If I could drink natural water, I 100% would. We need to get a reverse osmosis filter for our sink because I don't love drinking town city water. Like, I just don't. I understand that they put stuff in there to make it drinkable. I don't believe that, to be honest with you. I think they put stuff in there because they can. And I'm not going to put my tinfoil hat on, but we want to remove a lot of those chemicals that they put in our water out of our water. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, that's fair. That is very fair. And if we lived on a bigger plot of land, 100%. We live on a very small plot of land. It's big enough. Like, it's a third of an acre, but it's still really small, right? Like, we have a yard, and I'm so thankful we have a yard, but that's about it. But we are digging out space for not a parking lot, but like a parking lot for ourselves, a driveway more or less. And that's going to be a good start for world domination. Yeah. Got to start somewhere. And our drinking water is the way to do it. If you control the water, you control the people. Hence why I'm starting to garden. No, I'm kidding. And you'll be buying the whole town. I will say we probably could buy this whole town eventually. They can't charge you if you drill for your own water. That's fair. But yeah, I do think because we're on a mountain, we'd have to go like hundreds of feet down, which would be a lot. It would be a lot. Well, okay, I will say here specifically, I think it's less of they want you to pay them more than we have a very limited amount of water because of the snowfall this year. Like, I genuinely think we don't have a lot of water right now, which is kind of scary because we're in a very high fire zone. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we do have to also like pack some go bags for if we do have to evacuate. I hope they don't charge you if you somehow figure out, well, it's supposed to snow a bunch today. So we have all of our pots that have not yet been planted in, like turned to collect all of the snow so that they melt into water. And then we have water for our plants. So we do what we can, you know? We are out here doing what we can. Okay, I will ban them. I would recommend you ban them as well, but I will get them banned from the server. Right now. Thank you for letting me know, Void. I will get them gone. Random bots joining the server. It's so annoying. Can you just not? Like, can you just not? Ooh, the bus is getting fixed. This seems like the perfect place to wrap it up for the day. The perfect place to wrap it up. Don't click the links. It's sad. Once you turn into a smaller... Oh, you tuned into a smaller streamer and she almost fell for the scam until you told them it was a scam. Yeah, it's tough. It's predatory, right? Like, Starfruit open up an insane way to make money. They really do. Look at how much we made from crops today, though. We're doing a great job. We're killing it. But yeah, it is sad. And like, especially, it's like kind of offensive too. Cause like I do all of my, not my emotes, but like all of my graphics myself. So they're like, oh, I can see you do all of these things yourself. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm glad you think it's ugly. I'm so glad. And it was just the way they're like, oh, it definitely looks like you do this yourself. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm glad you think everything I do doesn't look great. There's more sophisticated ways to scam people. Oh yeah, someone else told you they find it rude too. It is rude. It's like, hey, I spent my hard-earned hours in Canva putting all of this together because I thought it was cute. And you're gonna be like, it really does look like you do everything yourself. Like, okay, cool, thanks. I appreciate it. Ugh. Okay, let's see who's playing Stardew Valley. Who am I following that's live right now? And is anybody playing Stardew Valley? Nadia is. She's super sweet. She's a really fun. They're finishing the community center today. That would be a fun one. She's really fun to hang out in. I do like to hang out in hers sometimes. There's a Quillfish in the PCG. They've also started doing I love your channel. Let's connect on Discord. Yeah, it takes a little while to learn the tells, but then once you learn them, it's very obvious. Big stretch from the cheddar. Look at them. Look at this bum. Look at this bum. He's just a baby. He's just the biggest baby. Cheddar, living large, living his best cheesy life. Okay, I am going to initiate this raid. So thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me today. I am so happy to be back. Like, it makes me so happy. And I'm glad to get back to our regularly scheduled streaming again. We're going to be playing a lot of Pokemon this year, probably. Yeah, true. But this week we're going to be playing a lot of Pokemon. We're getting back into things. I got to start looking at things. I'm playing too many games right now, so I need to hone it in again. And it'll be a great time. I'm so happy to be hanging out with you guys again. And I hope you have the best Tuesday. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you so soon. All right, we're going to raid out now. So have the best rest of your day. Cheddar's jumping off my lap. He says, okay, it's time to go. Bye-bye.